But these people they were brought up into adulthood in politics under Donald Trump, thinking that this is just how the government works, having zero understanding of the same Constitution to which they swore an oath to support and defend. I wish I could play taps, although taps is usually for somebody who's died. I don't even think that's taps. I would play taps for Alina Habba, is what I'd be doing. I'm going to read this statement to you that was posted on Twitter, the official way to resign your position. Alina Habba is no longer the U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey. She was forced after a appeals court panel, unanimously, 3 judges in a federal court said, nope, you are not serving appropriately. You have not been appointed legally to your position. You are unlawfully in the role, and she is now forced to leave. I'm going to read this bananas statement, again, posted to Twitter, and then we're going to talk about her role in the administration and where she's headed. This is, again, on Twitter, statement from Alina Habba, acting U.S. Attorney and Special Attorney to the United States Attorney General. For the past 5 years, I've fought for justice on behalf of the American people. You have? For the past 5 years? For justice for the American people? Because for the past 5 years, most of that time, you've been Donald Trump's attorney, his personal criminal attorney in the many cases. In fact, in the cases you were involved, Donald Trump lost. Donald Trump was convicted. You, madam, are a loser of a lawyer, a loser of a human being. The only thing you're good at is being a Donald Trump bootlick. For the past 5 years, I fought for justice on behalf of the American people, and my tenure under our great Attorney General Pam Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Tom Blatch, we made New Jersey safer by arresting United States Congress members, by arresting mayors of Newark, New Jersey. That made people safe, Alina? Come on. There's not going to be this much commentary. I'll just read through it. Camden had its first murder-free summer in 50 years. We drove down crime, took violent offenders off the streets, caught terrorists, and put away child predators. You're working for a child predator, sister. While I was focused on delivering real results, judges in my state, federal judges, a 3-paneled appeals court, judges in my state took advantage of the flawed blue slip tradition and became weapons for the politicized left, For months, these judges stopped conducting trials and entering sentences. There were no trials for months. These judges stopped all trials. Criminals just running amok in New Jersey, according to liar Alina Habba. For months, these judges stopped conducting trials and entering sentences, leaving violent criminals on the street. They joined New Jersey senators who care more about fighting President Trump than the well-being of residents which they serve. For years, I fought against lawfare aimed at President Trump, against politics infecting our justice system. What these obstructionists misunderstood is that my loyalty is not to politics, a title, or a zip code. It is to this great country. Who believes this shit? As a result of the Third Circuit's ruling and to protect the stability and integrity of the office which I love, you would have left right away if that was the case. I have decided to step down in my role as the U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey, but do not mistake compliance for surrender. This decision will not weaken the Justice Department, and it will not weaken me. My fight will now stretch across the country as we wait for further review of the court's ruling. I will continue to serve as the Department of Justice, as the senior advisor to the Attorney General for U.S. attorneys. Someone who was unlawfully in her role is now going to advise the Attorney General about the role she just left after having been forced out because she was unlawfully appointed. Makes tons of sense. And then she ends it with, make no mistake, these fucking people with the overwrought drama, make no mistake, you can take the girl out of New Jersey, but you can't take New Jersey out of the girl. It is amazing reading that resignation letter. She's now out of a job, out of that particular job, knowing that this summer, or when the government shutdown was happening, She said this about veterans not being fit, military veterans, not fit for a job, and that's why it was okay to fire American military veterans from their jobs.
Starting to think about maybe some of those veterans who worked for the federal government and maybe what the administration can do to at least help salvage their lives?
Well, as you know, we care about veterans tremendously. I mean, that's something the president has always cared about. Anybody in blue, anybody that serves this country. But at the same time, we have taxpayer dollars. We have a fiscal responsibility to use taxpayer dollars to pay people that actually work. That doesn't mean that we forget our veterans by any means. We are going to care for them in the right way, but perhaps they're not fit to have a job at this moment or not willing to come to work. And we can't, I wouldn't take money from you and pay somebody and say, sorry, they're not going to come to work. It's just not acceptable.
Or how about this? The U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey saying that Donald Trump as president is the ultimate authority in the federal government.
Separation of powers. It's a really novel idea, but our founding fathers created a document, the Constitution. There's a separation of powers for a reason. The executive branch is the ultimate authority on federal issues, and we have rogue judges who are trying to stop members like Doge team, Besant, from doing their job. And that's to protect taxpayer dollars, to look at what we're doing with spending, and to run the federal government under President Trump.
This is just a misunderstanding, to be as fair and charitable as I can to these statements. A misunderstanding. Donald Trump, in no world, under any law or article of the Constitution, is the ultimate authority on anything. That statement in and of itself disregards the checks and balance system that we have that has been enshrined by our forebearers who wrote the Constitution, who designed the Constitution. The Congress isn't the ultimate authority because the president and the judiciary both have checks over the Congress. The president isn't the ultimate authority because the Congress and the judiciary have checks over that branch. The judiciary isn't the ultimate authority because there are checks on it. It is a partnership in governance. And these people who believe Donald Trump is some kind of a king, including this woman who purports to be qualified to be a U.S. attorney, she claims it. Now, I'm going to end with this. This was her in the portico of the White House announcing her appointment, discussing her appointment, her illegal appointment to this position just a few months ago.
Good morning. I'm sure you've seen President Trump has just put out a statement that he has appointed me as the interim U.S. attorney for the state of New Jersey, my home state. As you know, I've stood by President Trump, his family, the organization, and many other clients in that state where I've been born and raised, and I'm raising my babies now. But there is corruption, there is injustice, and there is a heavy amount of crime right in Cory Booker's backyard and right under Governor Murphy, and that will stop. I look forward to working with Pam Bondi and with the Department of Justice and making sure that we further the president's agenda of putting America first, cleaning up mess, and going after the people that we should be going after, not the people that are falsely accused. That will stop in the great state of New Jersey starting now. Thank you so much.
Who are the people that you want to go after?
We'll see when I get in there. We got to see what's going in. I know you'd love that narrative. Let me be very clear.
You mentioned politics.
I didn't actually.
Cory Booker and Governor Murphy.
Correct, because I think Cory Booker and Governor Murphy have failed the state of New Jersey. If you look at what happened in crime, what's going on in Newark, what's going on in Camden, this has been a neglected state. It is one of the most populated states for its size, and it needs to stop. We're going to do a bang-up job. I cannot wait. It's a great honor.
How long is your appointment for?
Thank you very much.
Why did the president...
That was arrogance, is what that was. That was arrogantly announcing, signaling at the very least that she would be Donald Trump's weapon against Democrats. The way she's speaking isn't the way U.S. attorneys should be speaking. They should be dispassionate arbiters of justice, bringing cases where they can secure prosecutions, where the evidence leads them, not in a predetermined manner of who they're going to go after, who the enemy is, and it's always Democrats. But these people they were brought up into adulthood in politics under Donald Trump, thinking that this is just how the government works, having zero understanding of the same Constitution to which they swore an oath to support and defend. It is disloyalty to the country. It's disloyalty to their solemn vow, their oath to that Constitution. It's disloyalty to we the people. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. Let's have it in the comments below the video. You can also call the voicemail line and get your voice telephonically on the record, huh? What do you think? 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you very much. I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Say it with me. Take care of one another.